Okay, hi. I'm Laura Lucas and I'm a business coach. I live in Dundee in Scotland and I've been working with Sazu for a few months now. And I just really wanted to give a testimonial, more than I've ever wanted to give a testimonial before, because as a coach, Sazu has done more for me. And I've worked with good coaches, but she's just done more for me than any coach I've ever worked with before. So today I'm going to share the story of where I started out and why I worked with Sazu and what that was like for me and how I've changed throughout that process and some of the results I've got and where I'm going to go next as a result of having done this work. And I am going to be continuing to work with Sazu moving forward. So, like I say, I'm a business coach and I really work on mindset with my clients. I get very strategic in terms of their ideal clients and their sales funnels and all that kind of stuff. And that's all really good. But I'm so aware that mindset is the key thing that holds people back. And that's always where I start with my clients. And I'm in it's nearly 3 years since I set up my coaching business. And I've built it up successfully in my local area, working with small business owners, and I do some work in the corporate world as well, because that's my background. I have 15 years in corporate, mostly in client management and customer support roles, doing project management and change management in these positions to improve things for customers and improve things for the bottom line. So I've got all this strategic background, but I'm also really interested in personal development. And it's the mindset stuff I always start with, because that's what makes the biggest difference for my clients. We always do mindset before we get practical. And last year, I wanted to bring my business online. And I know bringing your business online, you need to be super specific about who your ideal client is and get really clear on your message. And I worked with a copy coach and I worked with a strategic coach really hard on that stuff. And although the work I was doing, my message seemed right, the activity I was doing, I was putting a ton of action in. I was doing all these webinars and stuff like that, and people seemed to be loving my stuff, but I just wasn't getting enough clients to come over the line and actually work with me. And I knew that even my coaches were kind of scratching their head and saying, well, we don't really know what the problem is here, Laura. You seem to be doing everything right, but it just wasn't bringing the results. And I knew that if it wasn't bringing the results, then something had to be wrong. And working with mindset so much, I knew that it was highly likely to be mindset. And a little bit of me knew that I needed someone to kind of do for me what I do for my clients, to help see myself in a different light, because I was working really hard and getting really frustrated and, starting to feel like maybe I couldn't do this thing. Maybe I couldn't cut it online. Maybe I couldn't be a successful coach online. And I'm someone that pretty much is good at whatever I turn my hand to, and that was painful for me. So I saw some of Sazu's posts, and she talked about how if you're not getting the results, then it points to the fact that there's something wrong with what you're doing. And she talked a lot about how it's about mindset and breaking out of your current belief system. And I just knew deep down that that's exactly what my problem was. I didn't know how to solve it, didn't know where to go with it, but I knew that's what my problem was. And I really knew that I couldn't sort it out myself. I needed someone to help me break free of that and see myself in a different light. And I think I listened to one of Sazu's webinars and it was just like, oh my God, you're so speaking to me. So I went ahead and arranged a business makeover session with her. And I just knew she was the person for me to work with. Didn't completely have the money at my disposal, but I was ready to put it all on a credit card pretty much and find that money. And we got to work and started having some success pretty much immediately. Sazu really helped me get into the head of my ideal clients, but not just that. I was quite well inside the head of my ideal clients in terms of understanding their problems. But I think what I was struggling to do was actually getting them into action and getting them to really see why they needed to work with me. And through some posts that I wrote and some webinars that I did, just by shifting the focus ever so slightly, I didn't just get people telling me how much they liked my work. I got people booking discovery sessions with me, and I got people signing up to coach with me. So that was the first big thing, and it was huge for me, you know, starting to feel confident about getting clients online, that I wasn't just posting out there into the void and nothing was going to happen. But at that stage, I did kind of start to almost run away from my good results. And this is something that had become a bit of a pattern for me. And probably looking back, it's been a bit of a pattern for me throughout my life, you know, that I go out there and I get results and then I kind of think, oh God, you know, it's almost like, is this too good to be true? Or can I really sustain this? And I just kind of put the brakes on and sabotage myself. And I did that. And Sazu was really doing that thing of showing me myself in a different light. And she could see that with my corporate background and everything that I could bring to my clients, particularly what I was bringing to my offline clients in terms of, you know, really helping them be able to sign up big clients, really big clients, multiple 5-figure clients. She was seeing that and I was kind of thinking, oh, you know, I just wasn't owning those results. I was pushing them away and I was running away from them and I was hiding from them. And it's like I was trying to make myself smaller to fit what I saw some other people doing online. And that's absolutely no disrespect to what those people were doing. They're doing a great job and it's needed for their clients. But actually I was trying to talk to those clients and then I was trying to take them away over here and do all this work that they weren't ready for. And there was a complete disconnect. But I really struggled to see it. I'm still not clear why totally clear why I struggled to see that. Just, well, I guess the usual belief in myself issues. You know, we went deep and we looked at what it would mean for me if I made this business successful. And I questioned what it meant for me as a wife. I questioned what it meant for me as a mother. And I questioned why I wasn't allowing myself to succeed at this. And that certainly helped to shift things. And I started to move in the right direction and see the things that I needed to say to be talking to my clients, to my ideal clients. And yeah, so I struggled on a little bit with the whole online thing, but I continued networking offline. And that was where I started to realise that actually some of the people that were around me in real life were people that I could help. And it was when I allowed myself, because actually this is where I've been really successful. When I go and meet people face to face, I've always known that I'm good face to face. And when I go and meet people face to face and just talk honestly, often when I get a client, I'll ask, you know, what was it about what I said that you really liked? And they always say to me, there's no bullshit with you, Laura. You just shoot from the hip, you tell it like it is. And they just, for some reason, they just realize that they need to work with me in that moment. I still can't see it in some ways. I cannot see myself. I cannot see what people see in me. I know I can deliver the results, but for some reason, I still can't totally see that. And about that time, I went into a networking event that I'd been going to regularly. And I'll be honest, I'd gotten a bit pissed off. And I kind of thought, you know, what I was saying in that room was falling on deaf ears. And I just got up and did my shoot from the hip thing and said, look, you know, here's what happens when clients work with me. They suddenly see the opportunity in front of them and they have the right mindset that they can take the action and actually realize that opportunity. And I gave an example of a client who I worked with who went straight from really earning nothing to immediately getting I think about £4,000 in 24 hours online, and she's now finishing up a £75,000 launch online. I went and gave that example and really kind of challenged people, said, you know, what are you missing in your business? And that was when I got my first 10K client. It was a guy who was in that room for the first time. And when he heard what I had to say, he said, look, I'd really like to talk to you. And suddenly, because of the work I'd been doing with Sazu, rather than think, oh yeah, whatever, I was like, oh my God, this is my client. This is an opportunity. And I made damn sure I followed up. I met that guy for lunch the next day. I sent a proposal to him, went and met him the next week with a proposal, and I closed that 10K business. And it was then that I realized that there was nothing wrong with my message. I was just in the wrong room. I was speaking to the wrong people. And that's when I was suddenly able to see and to hear everything Sazu had been showing me and telling me about myself, that actually I needed to be going up a level and working with people who were like my best client, who I'd got the best results with, rather than thinking, oh, well, these clients aren't quite ready for this, so I won't do that with them. No, I need to go out there and get the clients that are ready for this right now and help them get those results and build that reputation. And it doesn't particularly matter where I'm meeting them, whether it's online or offline. But I think now that I'm crystal clear on who my client is, and actually I know where to find a lot more of them locally. I'm going off to a meeting tomorrow morning to bag myself a few more of these clients and to help a few more of these clients. Now that I'm crystal clear on that, in real life, I can bring that to my message online and talk to those people who need to work with me, who actually are working really hard in their business, but if they shift things just a little bit and get out of their own way, there's a whole new world of opportunity out there for me. It's kind of funny because when I hear myself talking like this, I kind of think that's exactly what I needed, and that's exactly what I got from Sazu. But the other thing I want to mention here is I made this really difficult for myself. But Sazu never let me off the hook for a minute. She was always challenging me to see beyond all these limitations and all this shrinking and running away from myself that I was trying to do, beyond the point where I was really questioning, could I actually do this? Was any of this really here? She just never, ever let me off the hook, even beyond the point where our coaching agreement had come to an end. She kept helping me and she kept challenging me. And, you know, it wasn't like I was just chasing after her looking for some free advice beyond the coaching program. She just wouldn't let me off the hook because she could see it and she knew it was there and she cared about me stepping into who I actually was. She really cared about that. And if she hadn't worked so hard with me and relentlessly and kept challenging me, I would never have got that 10K client. I would never have become who I am now and who I'm supposed to be. And I don't know what would have happened to me, because actually I was really stuck and lost before I started this work, and I couldn't figure out what the hell was wrong. And I couldn't have done it on my own, and I really don't know. I really don't know if many other coaches, I'm sure there's other coaches that do this stuff and that are great, but certainly Sazu was the right coach for me at the right time. And, you know, if you're on the fence in any way, and if anything I'm saying resonates with you, you know, if you read Sazu's posts or if you've maybe had a conversation with her and you just know that she is speaking the truth, then work with her, because she can help you in ways that you can't yet imagine. You know, she can see things in you that you can't yet see. So I would really urge you to do that work. You have to be ready. I thought I was ready, okay? I have this little thing about jump off every cliff. You know, I'm always encouraging people, you've only got one life and you have to become the best that you can be. And the inner work in order to do that is really, really hard. But I think I'd lost sight of how much work I needed to do for myself. And I needed someone that wasn't going to let me off the hook, because in some ways, I can kind of hide because I'm good at doing a lot of stuff, and I'm good at telling myself lies, and I think other people believe my lies quite easily. Sazu saw through that in a way that no one else has, and wouldn't accept my first answer on a lot of things about why things weren't working, and she made me go deeper than I knew there was, really. So you know, if you know deep down that you've got an awful lot more to give and you're really willing to dig deep and have someone else dig deep, places that actually you probably don't really feel like going, then do this work, because you have only got one life, and whatever that is that's in you trying to get out, you need a midwife to help you give birth to it. And Sazu is like that midwife that can help you through the long and difficult labour. I hope yours won't be as difficult as mine, because it doesn't have to be. It was me that made it difficult. And to be honest, if it wasn't for Sazu, I would have still be struggling with that and still be making it difficult for myself. And it's just really shortened that time scale massively for me, because actually stuff seriously wasn't working for me. It wasn't like I could work at this level and then gradually move on and upwards. Because I was holding myself back at the wrong level, it just wasn't working. And I was banging my head off a brick wall. And I don't know how long I could have gone on like that. I wouldn't have given up. I probably would have run myself into the ground. In fact, I shudder to think what would have happened if I hadn't done this work. So if you're thinking about it, don't think about it anymore. Just commit and do the work. It's worth it. It's worth it not just for your business, but for you, for your whole life, and for the world that needs what you've got inside you, the big thing that you've got inside you, not the little thing that you're willing to let out, this great big thing that's bigger than you, that you're fighting against letting out there into the world. You need to let it out. And Sazu needs to help you. And I think, so from where I am now, so I've got the first 10K client, and do you know, I've gotten big clients in the past. I've achieved big milestones in terms of landing clients in the past. And as soon as I've done that, I've been like, oh, well, I need to just really focus on this client and I can't take on too much more. But I've totally seen the error of my ways. I need to build momentum around this. I need to go and get my next client. And actually, my next client needs to be probably more than a 10K client. It probably needs to be a 15, a 20, a 30K client. I don't know. But I need to think big with them, and I need to get that next client or 2 clients or 3 clients this month. And I need this to become my reality, because if I don't, I'll go straight back to playing small. And that pattern's broken for me now. I'm not going back to that pattern. I'm ready to do the work that I'm supposed to do for the people I'm supposed to do it for. I'm not trying to make myself small to fit into some other model because it, you know, the grass is greener and it looks cozier. It's not my work. It's not my job. This is the job that I have to do. And now I'm ready to do it. And I think that's pretty much all I want to say. I'm really excited for the future. I'm really excited to become Laura 2.0 and serve the clients that I now have complete faith are out there ready and waiting for me.
Do you want to give them your contact information?
Sure, yeah. So my website is inspirential.com. So it's for inspiring potential, and it's INSPIRENTIAL, inspirential.com. You can find me there. You can also find me on Facebook. I love Facebook, and I'm on there probably too much. I'm Laura Lucas, so you'll find me. I've got a page called Laura Lucas, and also my personal profile. If you're thinking of working with Sazu and you want to talk about what it's like, feel free to message me or friend request me. I'd be really happy to chat to you about that. Or if you think I might be able to help you in any way at all, just reach out and get in touch. I'd love to get to know you.